Good morning, this is Deborah Matthews, Vicar of Verwood. Well, the question at the centre of today's Gospel reading was posed to catch Jesus out. But perhaps it's useful for us today to think about where our own loyalties lay. Are they to God or to society? We all need to contribute to society, to live within the law, and to pay attention to those in authority. But at the same time, we need to give our thanks and our praise to God. Mostly, this is not a dichotomy, because doing the right thing should be the same, whether it is for society or God. But there are times when the question is more challenging for us, and no more so than in the middle of these troubled times, when we have all had cause to think about what lies at the heart of the way we live our lives. Challenging questions are good when they can help us to discover what is really important to us and help us to make good choices. But questions posed to catch people out can backfire on those asking them. Jesus was never afraid of hard questions, and he turned the tables on the Pharisees and the Herodians for trying to trick him. These two groups of people tried to trap Jesus by his own words. The Pharisees and Herodians didn't even agree between themselves about things, but they did agree that they wanted to get rid of Jesus. And so they had joined together against their common enemy with their trick question. "Teacher, tell us, what is your opinion? Is it right to pay taxes to the emperor or not?" The Pharisees were religious people trying to maintain God's law in an occupied land. For them, paying taxes to the Roman authorities was disloyal to God. They viewed taxes as a symbol of tyranny over people who should give loyalty to God alone. And the Pharisees believed that if Jesus said it was right to pay taxes to the emperor, that he would be flouting God's law. Whereas the Herodians thought it was best to get involved in society, so they traded with the Roman authorities to maintain and build up their businesses. And they accepted that taxes were a necessary part of that. But they knew that Jesus condemned those who trusted in riches, and so they thought if Jesus said it was not right to pay taxes to the emperor, that he would be flouting the Roman law. So both groups hoped that they would catch Jesus out. And this is something which happens today when people of completely differing opinions band together to scapegoat someone or something. And then as soon as that someone or something has been defeated, they revert to their own disagreements. Rather familiar in politics today. But Jesus' answer to these two groups of people is quite diplomatic. He tells them that they have a duty to God and to the emperor, and that they must fulfill their obligations to both. Both the Herodians and Pharisees have been outplayed. Not only has Jesus not been caught out by his words, but they are forced to acknowledge the value of each other's viewpoints. Being able to see one another's points of view is important for us all. Sometimes it takes a huge effort to see where other people are coming from. Jesus said we have a duty to God and to the world. We should be obedient to both God's laws and to human laws. We may be even less likely to be handling money today than ever before, but money bears the image of our Queen. Do we think that taxes are a burden to be avoided, or a proper contribution to the welfare of society? Every one of us is like a coin bearing the image and likeness of God, but we are not forced to give God our allegiance. Our obligation to God is different from our duty to pay taxes. It is joyfully given, and our prayer and action should demonstrate our love for our neighbour. Duty to God includes our duty to neighbour, and duty to neighbour includes our duty to God. There is value in paying taxes to maintain society, and there is value in fulfilling our duty to God to maintain our spiritual health and that of our communities. We must live with the tensions creatively rather than let them divide us, and work out how to both contribute to society and critique it, and how to be faithful to God and humble enough to recognise that only through Him can we realise our divine identity. God bless you, and keep the rules and keep safe.